Hi, this is George from iRely, and today we're going to talk about forecasting, and we're going to talk about how to actually project what your forecast will be next year. So the first thing we're going to do is go into our CRM application, and we're going to go into Lost Revenues report. And the Lost Revenues report is where we do all our searching and analysis from. First thing it asks you is saying, like, look, when you're building a forecast, what are you going to compare it off of? And I'm going to look at a calendar year. You can do something different, but I'm going to look at 1/1/2017 through 12/31/2017, and I'm going to pair that to 1/1/2018. Obviously, there won't be any for 18, but this is that's the periods that I'm going to look at, right? So obviously, I'll see what I sold last year to each customer and how much that was, right? So that'll give me my sales opportunities there. Now, the next thing that I'm going to do is I'm going to target on a specific item like corn. So I'm going to say, look, I want to look at my corn forecast. And you know what? I'm going to look at that by sales quantity. So I'm going to limit my report and change it up by quantity, and then I'm going to pull it down by corn. So now what that did was that basically put in only quantities where it shows me the last 3 years sales, and then it says, okay, for what period, and then how much I shipped in the past. Now, it's got a bunch of numbers. There's a bunch of customers down here. There's a lot of data. I'm going to just pick off one where the last 3 years average sales equals $1,834 just so I get one record, and we'll focus on that. Again, this could be hundreds of records in the grid, and you're creating opportunities for hundreds of records. I'm just going to do one. Now, here you can see, okay, I sold to Apple Spice sales. I sold them corn. 3 years average, I was selling them about 1,800. Last year I sold them 5,000 bushels, right? So basically that's telling me probably I'm going to have I'm going to have an opportunity there maybe for 5,000 bushels, and the contact is Tom Green. So I'm going to say, look, from this I do want to generate an opportunity to sell that specific item. And so I'm going to go ahead and save that that report, and that's going to create an opportunity for sales to Apple Spice. Now, again, if I had 100 out there, it would create 100 opportunities. I'm just creating one. Now, this opportunity that gets created is the basis for our forecast. So what this does is this creates an opportunity which you can assign to a salesperson, or if you have a salesperson assigned to customer, it will automatically assign. But this is actually going to be the basis for you to make contacts, ask them questions, find out what they need, find out if they are gonna, what they're gonna do this next year, right? And go from there. So now, assuming your person here in merchandising or sales, they can actually go talk to the person, and they can actually track their activities and conversations with respect to this sale. So they might say, hey, I need a new task, and I got to follow up about harvest, right? About forecast and harvest with Tom, right? And then Tom will be there, right? And so they can actually save that, and that'll create a task for them that says, hey, this is part of my forecasting. I got to figure out with Tom what he's going to actual forecast this year from what he's going to want to buy this year. So here I can go into the details of my actual item and say, let's say, yeah, Tom and I contacted and discussed, and we made an agreement that he is going to sell me some corn. So I'm going to go into my contracts, and I'm going to add a provisional forecast for corn, right? And I'm going to say, hey, look, this is going to be a corn sale, and I'm going to sell it to Apple Spice, which came over from the opportunity, and the commodity came over from the opportunity, and I'm going to say 1,000 bushels. And, Tom's the guy that's going to do it. And I'm going to say this is a forecast, right? Right. So now I can go ahead and save that. And I could say, oh, the salesperson is Tom, right? Or sorry, the salesperson is me, maybe. So it'll be George only. And he's the salesperson. And this contract, again, I'm not going to put it against my position because I think it's a forecast. I'm pretty sure he's going to do it, but I'm not positive, right? And then I'll save that off and close. Now that forecasted contract is now linked to my opportunity, right? And that'll bring my dollar amount back to the actual forecast here, so that I can see a forecast of what I think I'm going to bring in over the year, or what I'm going to sell over the year. All right. So now I've created that opportunity. Again, I can work up, follow up on it, and maybe he calls at one point and he says, look, I am going to actually price that. I am going to do business with you. So you can go, you can look at that contract, you can bring that contract up, and then you could price it out from that respect, right? But what basically this forecasting piece will do is give you full insight and full ability to track your forecast. You can attach documents. You can look at the audit log of what's happened with this part of the forecast, who's called who. You can look at all your activities inside of here if you had activities to close this deal. And then you can actually go into your contracts module and you could see what the forecast is, right? By looking at your contract report view, and you might say, look, I want to see all my forecast orders, right? And so those are actual orders that have turned into a forecast, and then those can be exported into Excel and managed and played with inside of Excel. So there's 1,000 things that you could do with forecasting, but from an overview perspective, this gives you the ability to go and look at last year's sales, build a forecast for this year, create a target order, then create an actual order, manage the follow-up, manage the contacts, manage the events through the whole process. So I hope you like that, and that's what we have. Thank you.